7 daily habits that predict your life expectancy. Have you ever caught yourself lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how much time you actually have left? Not in a dramatic, panicky way. More in that quiet, unsettling moment when the world goes still and you realize something you usually try to ignore. Life isn't endless. Sometimes it sneaks up on you in small, almost ordinary ways. When you're brushing your teeth and your reflection looks just a little older than you remember. When your chest tightens after climbing the stairs and you think, was it always this hard to breathe? Or when you look at an old photo of yourself and feel that pang in your stomach because the person smiling back at you feels both familiar and impossibly distant. We don't like to sit with those thoughts. Most of the time we shove them aside, bury them under busyness, scroll them away with distractions. But deep down, in the quiet places of your mind, you already know time is moving, whether you want it to or not. And beneath all of that, there's this fear we rarely say out loud. Am I living in a way that lets me stay here longer? Or am I unknowingly cutting my time short? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your future health, your future body, your future self, they're already being shaped right now. Not by some huge medical diagnosis or one-off event, but by the tiny, almost invisible choices you make every single day. Because science tells us it's not the rare extremes that predict how long we live. It's the ordinary. The habits so routine you barely notice them. The ones you repeat day after day, year after year, until they silently write the story of your lifespan. And that's what I want to share with you today. 7 daily habits that don't just shape how long you live, but how fully you live. But before we dive in, I want to ask you something. Don't just listen to this the way you'd half-watch another video in the background. Really sit with it. Hold up a mirror. Ask yourself with honesty, is this me? Is this how I live? Because whether you want to face it or not, your future self is already living with the consequences of the habits you have today. Habit 1. The way you start your morning picture. This. 2 people wake up at the exact same time. The first one opens their eyes and immediately reaches for their phone. The glow of the screen blinds them before their pupils even adjust to the light of the room. Notifications pile up like demands, emails, missed calls, the news. A message that makes their stomach tighten before they've even taken their first full breath of the day. Their body hasn't even left the bed, but already their heart rate is climbing. Their nervous system is on high alert. They're running a race that hasn't even started. Now imagine the second person. They open their eyes, but instead of diving straight into chaos, they pause. Maybe they stretch, feeling the stiffness melt out of their body. They pour a glass of water and let it wake their insides before coffee does. They step outside for a moment, just to feel the cool air on their face, the sunlight brushing their skin. Their mind is still quiet, their body waking up not with panic but with presence. Fast forward those mornings, not just 1 or 2, but years of them. The first person's body is different. Their blood vessels are more worn down. Their heart has been asked to sprint every day before they've even stood up. Their brain is wired to anticipate stress the moment consciousness returns. The second person, their body is still carrying its burdens. Yes, life is never stress-free, but they've built in a rhythm of repair. Their mornings aren't an ambush, they're a foundation. Their nervous system learns safety, their cells learn recovery, and their body ages with a little more grace. This is the quiet, unseen power of mornings. They're not just minutes you rush through, they're signals. Signals that tell your body, today we fight, or today we breathe. And here's the thing. It's not about becoming some robotic 5 a.m. miracle person who chugs green juice and meditates for an hour. That's not the point. The question is simpler and far more personal. When you wake up, do you begin your day already drained or already alive? Because that difference, subtle, invisible in the moment, compounds into the story of your lifespan. Habit 2. How often you move when nobody's watching. Think about your body for a moment. Not how it looks, but how it lives. Your blood, your breath, your joints, your muscles, they're all designed to move, to carry you through the world. Yet most of us spend the majority of our days sitting still, trapped behind screens, convinced that as long as we hit the gym once or twice a week, we're doing enough. But here's the truth. It's not just the hour-long workout that matters. It's the 1,000 invisible choices in between. Picture two people again. One spends their days glued to a chair. Meetings, emails, scrolling, sitting in traffic. Hours pass without a single meaningful movement. Their body becomes like a pond with no current, stagnant, heavy, slowly gathering toxins. Their blood thickens, their joints stiffen, their heart begins to strain under the weight of stillness. Now, the other person doesn't necessarily work out every day either, but they move. They walk to grab their coffee instead of driving. They stretch while waiting for the kettle to boil. They pace during phone calls. They take the stairs, not the elevator. Tiny choices, small ripples. But those ripples keep their pond alive. Their blood keeps flowing. Their heart keeps pumping with strength. Their body stays in rhythm with what it was designed for. Years from now, these two bodies will not feel the same. One will ache with stiffness, carry the hidden weight of inflammation, and struggle to do even simple things without exhaustion. The other will still have flexibility, strength, and resilience, not because of massive efforts, but because of consistent, almost invisible motion. We forget this, but a sedentary lifestyle, just sitting still, day after day, is as deadly as smoking. That's not exaggeration, that's science. The hopeful part? You don't need to become an athlete. You don't need to punish yourself with hours in the gym. Your body isn't asking for perfection, it's asking for movement. Small, daily gestures that whisper to it, "You are alive. Keep going." Because motion is not just exercise. Motion is medicine. Habit 3. What you feed yourself in secret. Let's be honest, most of the eating that harms us doesn't happen at dinner parties or family gatherings. It happens in the quiet, forgettable moments. Late at night, when you wander into the kitchen, open the fridge, and tell yourself, just one more bite won't matter. In the middle of a stressful day, when you reach for chips or candy, not because you're hungry, but because you're empty in a different way. Or that soda, that fast food, that quick fix you grab in secret, convincing yourself it's harmless because no one saw. But here's the truth. Your body saw. Your body always sees. Food isn't just fuel. It's language. Every bite is a message whispered to your cells. It says, repair or damage, build or break. Imagine your body as a construction site. Your cells are the workers, building and repairing you every single day. What you feed them is the raw material they're forced to work with. Whole foods, fruits, vegetables, clean proteins, healthy fats are like strong bricks and steel beams. With those, they can build something sturdy, something that lasts. But processed sugars, chemicals, and empty calories, that's like handing your workers soggy cardboard and asking them to build your future home. Maybe it holds for a while, but eventually, it collapses. The most dangerous part, the damage is invisible. At first, you don't instantly feel your arteries hardening, your blood sugar climbing, or your organs straining. It's quiet, creeping, hidden, until one day it's not. And this is where many of us struggle. We judge ourselves, we feel guilty, we think, I've already ruined it, so why bother trying? But food isn't about perfection. It's about patterns, about asking yourself, am I nourishing the only body I'll ever live in? Or am I slowly sabotaging it when no one's watching? Because years from now, your future self will remember. Not the one salad you ate, not the one cookie you snuck, but the rhythm you chose most of the time. The quiet, repeated messages you fed your cells. And the question is, when your body finally shows you the result, will you be proud of what you gave it? Or regret the secrets you kept? Habit 4. How you handle loneliness. This one might be the hardest to admit because it's not something you can see in the mirror or measure on a scale or track with an app. It's loneliness, not the kind where you're physically alone, but the deeper kind, the one that lingers even when you're surrounded by people. That quiet ache when you realize no one really knows what's going on inside you. Maybe you come home after a long day, sit on the couch and scroll for hours. Notifications, videos, endless updates, millions of people right there on your screen. And yet somehow you still feel unseen. Or maybe you've learned to wear a mask. You laugh, you say, "I'm fine." You go through the motions. But when you lay in bed at night, the silence between your breaths feels heavier than the day you just survived. Here's what's terrifying. Research shows that loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about that. We've built whole campaigns warning people about cigarettes, but hardly anyone warns us about the quiet damage of isolation. Because loneliness doesn't just hurt your feelings, it hurts your body. It raises blood pressure, weakens immunity, fuels inflammation. It can shorten your life expectancy as much as any bad diet or lack of exercise. Why? Because human beings aren't designed to do life alone. We are wired for connection. Your nervous system literally calms down when you feel understood. Your body heals more efficiently when you feel cared for. Your brain stays sharper, longer, when it's in conversation with other minds. And yet so many of us are starving for real connection while pretending we're full. So here's the question. When was the last time you let someone see the real you? Not the version you, present at work, not the curated posts on your feed, but the raw, unpolished truth. When was the last time you said, "I'm struggling, I need you"? The habit of reaching out, not just when things are going well, but especially when they're not, could be the very thing that saves your life, not just emotionally, but physically. Because at the end of the day, it's not the number of people in your contacts that predicts your longevity. It's the number of people you can call at midnight and know they'll pick up. And maybe the most courageous habit of all is this: choosing not to carry your life alone. Habit 5. Your relationship. With sleep, we live in a culture that treats sleep like it's optional, a weakness, something you sacrifice if you want to be successful, productive, admired. How many times have you heard someone brag, "I only need 4 hours of sleep," as if exhaustion were a badge of honor? But here's the truth. Sleep isn't a luxury. Sleep is survival. Think of your brain like a massive hard drive. Every night, sleep runs the cleanup software. It sorts through memories, clears out toxins, repairs damage, recharges your body. Without sleep, that system glitches. Files get corrupted, viruses build up, energy drains faster than you can refill it. And the scariest part? The consequences of poor sleep aren't just grogginess or crankiness. They're deadly. Years of research prove that regularly sleeping less than 6 hours a night dramatically increases your risk of heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, even cancer. Your immune system weakens, your body ages faster. You're literally shaving years off your life with every night you cut short. But here's what most people don't see. Neglecting sleep isn't just stealing from tomorrow's you. It's stealing from future you, the older version of you, who deserves to still be here, healthy, moving, remembering, living. Now imagine this. 2 people again. One treats sleep as an afterthought, staying up late scrolling, working, numbing out with TV. They drag themselves out of bed, foggy, irritable, their body operating at half power, year after year. The other one treats sleep like sacred time. They guard their nights like treasure. They let themselves rest fully, trusting that their body will repay them with clarity, energy, resilience. Fast forward 20 years. One of them is exhausted, their body fraying at the edges, wondering why everything hurts, why they forget so much, why life feels harder than it should. The other still has light in their eyes, strength in their steps, a brain that remembers, a heart that keeps beating, strong. The difference isn't luck, it isn't genetics, it's habit. So the question isn't, do you have time to sleep? The real question is, are you willing to protect the one thing your life expectancy cannot survive without? Because sometimes the most radical act of self-preservation isn't doing more. It's turning off the lights, closing your eyes, and finally letting your body do what it was designed to do: heal. Habit 6. The way you carry. Stress itself isn't the villain. In fact, stress is part of being alive. It's your body's way of rising to meet challenges, of keeping you alert and ready. The problem isn't that you feel stressed. It's what happens when you never let it leave. Think about it. Where does your stress go? For some people, it lives in their body like an uninvited guest that never leaves. You see it in the hunched shoulders that never relax, the clenched jaw, the shallow breathing. You feel it in the tight chest, the restless nights, the constant knot in your stomach, and maybe you've gotten so used to carrying it that you don't even notice it anymore. It just feels normal. But your body notices, every single day, because stress that stays trapped doesn't just live in your head. It hardens arteries, weakens the immune system, fuels inflammation, ages your organs. Over time, it quietly shaves years off your life. Now imagine two different people. Both of them experience stress, because no one gets through life without it. The first person lets it build up like pressure in a sealed bottle. Every deadline, every argument, every worry, they store it inside, pretending they're fine. But eventually the bottle cracks. Their body becomes the release valve, through illness, through burnout, through breakdown. The second person learns to let stress move through them instead of letting it live inside them. They breathe deeply when they feel it rise. They journal. They go for a walk. They talk to someone. They laugh. They pray. They find ways to release the fire before it burns them from the inside out. And years from now, these two lives will not look the same. One will be marked by disease, exhaustion, and a body that feels older than it should. The other will still carry stress, yes, but their body won't be buried under its weight, because stress is like fire. Held carelessly, it destroys. But held wisely, it warms, it fuels, it gives light. So let me ask you again, where does your stress go? Does it sit inside your chest, quietly stealing time from your future? Or do you give it room to breathe, to move, to leave? Your answer may be one of the clearest predictors of how long you'll be here. Habit 7. The stories. You tell yourself, every single day, you narrate your life in your head. Most of the time, you don't even realize you're doing it. Little sentences, whispered beneath your breath, buried under your thoughts. I'm too old. I'll never change. I've wasted too much time. It's too late for me now. These stories don't feel like stories. They feel like facts, but they're not facts. They're cages. Invisible ones. Science has discovered something extraordinary. People who carry a positive outlook on aging, who see their future selves as capable, resilient, still worth investing in, live, on average, up to 7 years longer than those who believe their best days are behind them. 7 years. Not from a drug, not from a medical breakthrough, from a mindset. Why? Because your mind and body are not separate. They're dance partners. The story you tell yourself becomes instructions. Why dating is different and better after 60. What you need to believe. Your life is winding down, your body listens, your energy drains faster, your cells repair less efficiently, your motivation to take care of yourself dissolves. But if you believe you're still alive with purpose, still capable of joy, love, growth, your body fights harder to keep you here. Think of it this way. Every day you're writing a script. Future, you will live inside the story you're writing right now. Will that story be one of decline, regret, and inevitability, or one of resilience, possibility, and hope? I'll give you a picture. Imagine two people at 60 years old. One wakes up each morning thinking, I'm old, I'm tired. It's downhill from here. They stop trying new things, stop taking care of themselves. Their world shrinks until they're just waiting. The other wakes up at the same age and thinks, I still have chapters left to write. They learn, they laugh, they nurture friendships, they move their body. They live, even while aging. The difference isn't the wrinkles on their face, it's the words in their mind. So here's the hardest but most powerful question of all. What story are you telling yourself about your life right now? Because those words, those quiet, private sentences you repeat when no one's listening, might just be the most accurate predictor of how long you'll be here. Conclusion. Choosing life. So here they are. 7 daily habits that quietly, invisibly predict how long you'll live. Not dramatic, not glamorous. Just the ordinary, repeated choices that add up to the shape of your future. But here's the thing. This was never really about death. It's about life. About fiercely choosing it, protecting it, honoring it in the small moments you thought didn't matter. Because when you drink that glass of water in the morning, when you walk instead of sit, when you nourish your body with food that heals, when you reach out instead of hiding in silence, when you guard your sleep, when you let stress leave instead of live inside you, when you tell yourself a story of resilience instead of decline, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. And maybe that's the deeper question. When your future self looks back, what will they say? Will they thank you for protecting them, for caring enough to give them a body that still moves, a mind that still remembers, a heart that still beats strong? Or will they whisper regret? For every day you treated your health as if it didn't matter until it was too late. If you've ever spoken with someone in their 80s or 90s, you know what I mean when I say this. The echoes of elderly wisdom are always the same. They don't talk about money or status or how many hours they worked. They talk about time, about love, about health, about wishing they had protected the vessel that carried them longer. And maybe you've heard it too. That quiet warning wrapped in tenderness. Take care of yourself. Don't wait until it's too late. Those echoes are gifts. They're not meant to scare you. They're meant to wake you. Because your life is happening right now, in every breath, every bite, every morning, every night. And the future you will live or die by the habits you're shaping today. So the question is no longer, how much time do I have left? The real question is, what am I doing with the time I have now? The choice is in your hands. The ability to stand tall when you rise from a chair, the strength to walk across the room without fear of falling, the simple, priceless joy of dancing, yes, dancing, at your granddaughter's wedding. You see, life doesn't take away our freedom in one dramatic moment. It happens slowly, subtly. In those tiny pauses on the staircase, the longer rests between steps, the quiet fears we never say out loud. But just as decline can come quietly, so can restoration. One choice at a time, one nutrient at a time, one spoonful, one meal, one small act of care that builds into something extraordinary. And maybe that's the greatest gift of all, that no matter your age, no matter your starting point, you are not powerless. Your legs are not betraying you. They are asking for support, for nourishment, for a chance to carry you, strong, steady, alive, into the days ahead. So here's my invitation. Don't just watch this video and move on. Choose one of these allies today. Add it to your life. Feel the difference in your own body. And as the weeks pass, notice how your steps become lighter, your movements freer, your spirit stronger. Because the truth is, the best years of movement and freedom may not be behind you. They may still be ahead, waiting to be lived. And if you found hope here today, if you felt even a flicker of possibility stirring in your chest, I'd love for you to stay with us. This channel, Echoes of Elderly Wisdom, is a place where we honor the body, the spirit, and the journey of aging with strength and grace. So hit that subscribe button, join our growing family, and let's keep walking this path together. One step, one story, one echo of wisdom at a time. Because you are not done yet. Your story is still being written, and your legs, your beautiful, strong, resilient legs, are ready to carry you into it.